Gonna have to try just stick it in there. Stick in with it. There's nothing more to say.
Say that again.
Stick it in there.
Just stick it in.
Just stick it in.
Those are the things. Gonna sit and soak up the pressure. Hey, why?
I just subscribed.
Yeah! Rolling in over it.
Oh, fucking come on then. Episode 6.
Rolling.
Is it
I'm out of
rolling
it.
on one of our votes?
I'm director. Let's go.
Alright.
Rolling on the red.
We're here, episode 6. Got a returning cast,
They found me!
Fucking lost.
as well as a new cast. Yeah, Amy, where were you last week? That made me and Mike have a little date night on the little pod.
Anyway, so podcast number 6.
Yeah, we're here with 2 new people
Hello.
tonight.
New ladies.
Ladies.
Hello.
2 of the ladies.
Yeah.
Do you want to introduce yourselves?
So I'm Jade, I'm 22 and a half.
In it.
Back to you.
Kim.
25. Just.
Yes.
But yeah, it's good to know about the ages, of course, 22 and a half and 25 just.
Yep.
Precise.
Banana.
Put it out there.
How old are you doing?
Have a guess.
23 and a half.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
23 and
Yeah,
3 quarters.
always go lower. Always go lower. It's one thing I've learned. Just go lower.
23 and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll go
almost
with
bang on. We'll go for it.
It's my 21st birthday next week, so
Happy birthday.
yeah.
Happy
Thanks,
birthday.
Thanks, babes.
Oh, sorry.
21.
21 next week.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
Now you know all our ages.
yeah.
We'll get straight to the
Just.
pod. We're going to talk about the women's team in this pod, but we'll start with Sunday. We'll get that out of the way with.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the women's team and how well you guys are doing as a group all together. But yeah, Sunday we did lose the battle of the YouTubers.
So it's like a double whammy loss, isn't it?
Yeah, they beat us off and
Did they put it on YouTube?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I had a look yesterday and I was like,
I mean, so it was 12-2 to them. All I have to say is they should pick on some of their own size, to be completely honest. You know, we've only got 53 subscribers, they've got a bit more than that.
Yeah. It's a bit unfair from the get-go, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, but it was good to see them down, because obviously a lot of us have watched them on YouTube, seen all their videos. It was weird seeing them in person for the first time, and I could tell when they got here, I don't think they kind of knew how to take our welcoming, because we were talking on the podcast last week how we want to be a welcoming club. I think they weren't too sure if we were being genuine or not, because I think there's a lot of teams that don't really like them at all. And if you saw their video on Monday, he was saying that the team just don't outright like them, put them in the classroom, for a change room, giving them shit on and off the court. So it was weird when they came. I think within 2 minutes being around here, meeting you as well, they were like, actually, they're
You
welcoming
with
us
Mike
here.
behind the camera this week. Let's just
Mike behind the camera, yeah.
I think it relaxed the attitude of the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying we want to be, because instead of this thing of, we talked about this on the podcast those times, you go somewhere, you don't know where you'd go, and no one's meeting you, you don't know which change room you're in, you're just guessing which change room you're in, etc. We don't want that here. So I saw them in the car park.
with a sandwich in your meal deal.
Yeah, I really hope their mafia what they did with their camera walking backwards gets me scoffing my meal deal sandwich on the side of it.
That's going to be the start of it.
I actually walked into the metal rod. That's, you know, there's like that fencing. I wanted that as well. I thought they'll notice, and Reece went, "Oh, there's a rod there, mate," and right next to Jamie Shaw, this is as well. So I hope that does make it. But yeah, they were quiet and reserved coming in, but like I say, they opened up after that. But, I think they're quite a nice bunch of lads, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything unfair in particular, other than the refs' behaviour. But player-wise,
Yeah, Luke wasn't too happy with how the 2 refs weren't sort of doing the same thing with the time keeping and stuff, with kickings, was he?
it's the same old
Well,
story.
one took about 6 seconds to do 1 second, and the other one was really
Yeah.
No, I
fast.
love their style of
It made
counting.
no sense.
Like
It made no
1,
sense.
Yeah.
2. Oh shit.
And then with us, it was
1.
1, 2.
Yeah. They started on 3, 3, 4.
I think Luke tried to give him free advice.
Yeah.
Didn't get a booking this time, which normally Reece would get. But but into the game, Yeah, it was a hard one, to be honest, for sure. They are a well-drilled team, good individual players as well.
Do you reckon that's because they turn up to practice? Or?
They train all the time every week, and we can say as much as we want with it here or off camera. We don't have the same at the moment, being quite frankly honest. And there's the uncontrollables with our captain, vice captain being injured, and the other one being away. But seeing some players getting frustrated with certain things when there's not been enough time put into training to put stuff right.
Any time put into training.
It was a good lesson to us, and I said this in the first podcast, we'll get some lessons down to us, I think. And I wasn't saying that in a sinister way. It's good because it makes us realise where we need to be even in this tier, let alone where we need to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
We see it about, I'd say 3 or 4, maybe more set pieces to them, which definitely works on the training, and I'd say, it's even the little individual details like that is a step above from us at the moment.
I think for me, watching them, like I actually enjoyed watching them, like on the ball, like their ball control skill, like the practice that's gone into every move that they're making.
It's the rhythm of their rotation as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, they just because they do know each other well, and we are a new side, and the turnover of players not been extremely high, but we're still getting that team together. Obviously, we're still getting used to each other, but that makes it even more important to put that right in the times where we can. We had 2 weeks, we had a 3 week, I think they did as well, in fairness, but we had a 3 week of no game where we can just do 2 trainings towards it, and we could have made more use of it, to be completely honest, and the better team definitely won the day, 100%. I mean, 12-2 is probably harsh because we did go for the risk of the fly keeper near the end, which I fully back because we were losing, we had to do something.
Again, going back to the ref situation, like there was a few decisions that were just outright ridiculous.
I don't think it was a penalty, for sure. I think
it wasn't a penalty, and there was probably one the other end that should have been fouls.
I mean,
completely mishapped.
At the end of the day, we lost without all of that, in fairness. But to see Joe probably having to give him 12 quid for something where he got the ball, there was contact, but he got the ball first. What else are you going to do? He's a big fella. Like, he's with the greatest respect.
You know what? It'll be on YouTube, so we'll be able to see.
Yeah. Well, if he wants to scrap in the car park, this will be out by the time I'm gone.
Watch the Congo.
Kim, you watched the match on Sunday?
No.
You weren't
That's
there?
why I've been checking YouTube. See if
Okay. Hurry up and get it on
It was
YouTube.
your
Well,
birthday,
I'll tell you what, I know I'm behind the camera, but I am going to say something, and that is that we did have a lot of players missing, and we alluded to that last week, didn't we? And we said, actually, we're going to give them a game, and we did give them a game, because the scoreline, it looks like we got battered, but I come off of there, and I said to them, that didn't feel like a 12-2 to me, and they agreed.
Yeah.
They absolutely agreed. They said, it didn't feel like a 12-2. I know that was the result, but it didn't feel like that. When you break down their goals, I think 4 of their goals come from set pieces, which we should have been able to stop.
Yep.
4 of their goals come from fly. You take them 8 goals out.
All open goals.
And we gave them 2 where we've overplayed at the back, which happens, but we gave them 2 goals, their first 2. That's all their goals, or most of their goals. And then all of a sudden you're in a 2-1, 3-2, 4-2 situation. For me, it felt like an 8-4. It wasn't, the score didn't reflect that, but that's what it felt like, and that was with a lot of players missing, as we know. So, I know we'll talk about later on, but I think you're right. Players turn up to training, missed opportunities there. You've got players who are playing on the weekend who haven't been at training very much recently for whatever reason, and they didn't. If you've got one person who doesn't know the set routine, or they're not quite in tune with everybody, it goes ajar. And those details and those half a foot or a foot here and there, those are the differences. And we can see the one from a corner where we just weren't switched on, and that was because we haven't been to training and the players didn't know it. There was some argy-bargy between players getting frustrated with each other, and that's going to happen if you're not a unit and you're not out there kind of all fighting the same way.
It's fine margins, mate, and they work on it to a T, and you can see that from, I know we could probably defend some of the set pieces there, but there's one I was really particularly impressed with where they're aiming it towards TK, and he's quite rightfully, he's the top goal scorer in the league.
Probably, yeah, he scores a lot.
Because he's got a hell of a shot in him, and they work on it, and there's probably 3 different routines just for him to shoot, let alone all the other routines they have. So yeah, full credit to LDN. They were a great bunch when they came down. I've no bad words to say about them, for sure. One of them individually messaged you saying that, thank you for having us.
A couple of them
Yeah,
sent a message
I've
saying
to be
about
fair,
how
I've
good-
spoken to a couple of players.
Yeah. They were well impressed with the event, the actual event itself. So,
I wish we
Take
scored
out-
more goals, had more goal music,
Yeah,
but apart from that...
Save that for the next game.
but
Yeah.
the hospitality and the event itself, they said, it's the best that they've had. So, if nothing else, when you're travelling 2-3 hours to get to a game, every team that's come here has had what we gave LDN,
Yeah.
and
No,
they didn't get anything different.
At the end of the day,
Exactly
we
the
put
same.
on what we, in an ideal world, would walk into the other end.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
just
And soon to be sparklers and light shows.
We tried to do
That's the
prices
plan.
those, haven't we, mate?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
next season though. Next season.
I would say the biggest bugbearer, obviously just ending on the recap for me, we put that massive show on hosting and creating an atmosphere for everybody, and then we sit on our bench screaming and shouting at each other
Yeah.
like children. In reality,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be happening.
Well, the qualifiers was easy in many ways because you're winning.
Yeah.
I think when people are winning, it's easy to keep going. People turning up.
And it's fine to be
Yeah.
passionate and trying to get that point across,
Yeah.
but we shouldn't be.
Well, it's difficult.
Shouldn't
now,
be done.
And that's the thing. We're playing good teams with good players, and frustrations and players flaking. That's when you know who is committed and who isn't. When you're winning, that doesn't say anything. When you start to lose, that's when it's.
I think for me,
really
if you're coming off and you've been subbed or you sat there watching the game, like, fair enough, have a discussion with each other and go, do you know what, actually, I saw that you could do that, but help each other. Don't sit there going at each other. That passion can be turned around. Like, okay, well, what did I do wrong? Get me back on there, let me turn it around.
Go and put it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's that I know I say it, but towards the end, and I will shut up in a second. But I said it in the change rooms afterwards, didn't I? Losing is one thing. Being passionate and getting frustrated and biting at each other is one thing. But then giving up and literally watching them walk the ball in the back of the net, that's not okay. And I don't accept that. And that's what creeped in on Sunday, which I haven't seen before in our team. Is that just, there's a bad pass, let's just let them have it.
What time to
That's
do
not
it
acceptable.
for the YouTube team?
Well,
It's going out,
Yeah.
whether they like it or not.
yeah, you'll
At
see.
least
It'll
we've
be
got,
out.
at least we've got the training material.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll
Sit down
GoPro
and
and
play back and go,
Oh,
"Go on."
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
GoPro and the goals and everything.
But I agree. They were the best team, and they deserve to win. I feel like we could have given them a closer game if we'd have had our full strength team, but
Yeah.
we didn't. We'll talk about Sussex at the weekend, which is, let's just not. You can talk about that. And yeah, so that's them. So credit to them. Well done. They're a good bunch of lads, and we'll see them in the semi-finals. I'd rather win in the semis anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we're saving
saving the
for.
performance. Saving the
False
performance.
confidence.
Absolutely.
Just to say, Mike's not on camera because he's got ketchup on his shorts. That is the real reason
I know,
why he's not
Yeah,
on camera.
because he couldn't have angled his leg, like that, or just like that would have done. But there we
You're in a
go.
bit of a rush,
Don't-
aren't you,
don't-
Jamie?
don't- don't-
Yeah, he's actually got ketchup on his face. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why I'm
No,
on camera.
he's not brushed his beard today. I don't know.
Or his hair as well.
You can't see, so you can't judge. So
We'll move on to
yeah, we've got to
you
move
guys.
on sadly because Jamie and Mike were really late at turning up this evening. So
At least we turned up.
punctuality and all
At
that.
least we
So,
turned up.
I had to
Um,
carry all these,
Yeah, you
view
did. You did.
shirts. So
They were
Hey, look,
heavy.
Mackie G's parked me
Proper
from the
heavy.
burger, waiting on me.
at least we didn't sleep in this one. So
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, I know. It was good sleep, to be fair.
Alright, we're missing.
women's
Anyway,
team.
yeah, women's team.
I'll leave you in charge of this one, Amy.
What do I say? So yeah, ladies, thoughts? Have you enjoyed the game? Have you enjoyed the practice so far?
Definitely, yeah.
Both come from a football background.
Yeah. I've only been a couple of times, but I've really enjoyed every time we've been. It's a nice group of girls I think we've got going.
Yeah, it's a really good, strong team, enthusiastic,
passionate.
motivated. So much so that the women actually want to turn up to the men's training to come and
To show them up,
come and
basically.
watch and join in.
Yeah.
So
Are you coming tonight? Well,
you know, our training each week is not enough, and I think a lot of that comes from the fact that we've got so much to learn, and my team are very sort of on the same wavelength as me. Like, I want to learn it now. I want to get there. I want to get going.
I think it's
Yeah.
difficult because you've got a lot of like different abilities.
Yeah,
And there's
there's different
yeah.
fitness levels. There's a lot of injuries that, you know, we've got to be careful of, and I don't want any of my players out. You know, I'd rather they gave me 50% and did 50%.
yeah.
You know, in training, but we're still there for the other half and taking, you know, our discussion points, what we're going over. So, yeah, we're drilling down now to the point. You know, skills are good. We've got some amazing players,
Getting
Yeah.
there.
some violent players, but passionate.
He's scary.
Passionate, you know. Kim will slide tackle, you know.
That was the brain over the
Don't
body.
keep
though.
hold of the ball for too long,
Love
you know.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. It's nice to see everybody's on a different wavelength, but with the same end target. So
Yeah.
we've got exciting things to come. Applications have opened for the league.
Lots of polls.
Yeah, that's on my radar today. The WhatsApp group's been going crazy. There's a lot to think about. For me, tier 2 is not local for us. You know, with it being a women's team, there's childcare to take into account. You know, lots of other factors to take into account, and we're still building the team. You know, we're only 4 months in, early days.
It's amazing. We've done a lot within that 4
Yeah.
months. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
We're now down to the point where our team are consistent. They're at practice every week, without fail. You know, and they're wanting more. So, yeah, here we are. They've come along to the men's.
Dragged onto a PT session
Yeah.
yesterday.
And then we're
Dragged.
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 Well,
Oh,
dragged
well,
out because the legs weren't
Yeah.
working. So yeah, safe to say my women are also getting beaten up in the gym as well. So yeah, strength and conditioning. Here we go.
How do you say
briefly
Amy's?
talk about the gym quickly, add it, and then
Oh yeah.
because we've got the new. I'll let you talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah. So new partnership with Supreme Fitness. I actually know Jordan and Natalie. Fantastic couple. Completely motivated. So I'm not surprised that they've got involved. Really. Fantastic setup down there. Really good equipment. Good vibes. Yeah, and they've given us this amazing opportunity. So I
Yeah,
think,
big thank you to them.
yeah, huge thank you. And I think if we can utilise it to the max, we can get a lot out of it, 100%, and it will massively improve performance on the court.
After
When
Doms
once
stops.
day 2, day 3, Doms has calmed down, and yeah, and we're back to normal walking.
Yeah.
So
That'd be great.
yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it.
How would you girls say Amy's army? I mean, training routine.
Left, right, left, right.
Yeah. Bleep test.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be an induction yesterday, and we got a full free set.
Yeah, so yeah, I
free
mean,
set of that, and I was
I mean,
like, okay.
Once a PT, always a PT. So an induction's not an induction; it's an introduction into how hard it's going to be. So yeah.
What's your thoughts then, Amy, on kind of, you know, balancing? You kind of touched on it, but balancing the costs that will be associated with joining the Futsal League, which is travelling all over the place,
Yeah.
versus say training and joining the local five-a-side league that's just started up. You know, because that's the balance that you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, so it's a really hard balance, and I think for me, there's no way on earth that I would enter us into the league if there's any doubt whatsoever that we can come out of it the other end still as a team. I think priority for me being in the early days is that we're at that building stage, and it's really important for me that everybody keeps their mindset, keeps their motivation. You know, it can be really disheartening if you're not used to that high intensity match level, you know, sort of game. So yeah, it is hard, and realistically we can't do it without sponsorship. You know, South Tier 2 is not South.
No,
We're
had that
south.
discussion, didn't we?
We're South.
Yeah.
The rest of the teams are not. So, you know, when I look at the team that I've got at the minute, work commitments, childcare, you know, health, and just general life, and them trying to balance work and family. You know, when you take all of that into account, can I realistically expect the whole of my team to commit to that sort of travel?
Because it's not just a 2-hour training session block. Away game is...
It's
A
a
whole
day
day.
event.
Yeah.
It's a day event, and yeah, I'm keen. I'm eager. I would put it in there, you know, every weekend. But that's my role essentially. I have to be motivated, even if I don't want to get up and go to training. I have to be there. So, but if I start pushing people past where they want to be and how far they want to commit, then I start losing my players and I start losing my team. So, you know, and then people start going down that slippery road. So,
I think it's that patient game. You're only, like you said, you're only 4 months in.
Yeah.
That's unbelievably
Yeah.
young for a start of any team.
Yeah.
Like, it's... I think once you get that, the basics there of even anything tactical, technical, or the, you know, the consistency of people turned up all the time, which you've already got, just getting that foundation, getting the confidence, then you'll really see, like, where, how much more can I push this season?
I think you say it in any sport and any level. We train together as a team, so you're not going to get everybody's full competitive side out of them because they don't want to fully commit into challenges or, you know, what they're doing against each other. You know, we are friends as
That's what I
well
said,
at the same
that's
time.
true.
You know, so I have to look at that level of it and go, well, who's got that extra step? You know, and how am I going to get that out of them to maximise it and make them confident? Realistically, matches.
Well,
So-
friendly against the men.
Southampton
Imagine.
Aztecs. We'll definitely be looking for a friendly.
Offense friendly.
Yeah. I want it to be away. I want us to experience a different court, a different setup, a different atmosphere. It also means that they're likely to come with their strongest team or their strongest players. You know, we might then go away with our weakest. You
That's
know,
how you
or-
learn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and for me, I've already said to the ladies, and they'll confirm if they were listening.
Don't really lie.
It's a training exercise. You know, yes, I go into every single match, friendly or not, to win. Would we beat Southampton Aztecs? I don't know. I'd go into it with the mindset that we could. But the ladies have said if we can just score, that would be wonderful. So,
But you
yeah.
get to learn off, because Samson Aztecs women's, as I understand, they're pretty good standard in terms
They are.
of
Never
the...
been
They're,
team.
they're a really
They're
good team.
not-
Really good team. I've already researched them. I've already watched.
So it's even just learning even little details right in front of you, what? Because they had to start from somewhere as well.
But they're established. They've got that game match experience, that level of intensity. They know how to bring themselves back out of a situation. You know, we don't have that yet.
Skills you
But-
can't learn within training.
Can't learn playing each other. So we need the friendlies. We need the experience. I've also said to the ladies, I think it'd be a good experience. Obviously, then watching the men train, it's a completely different intensity level to the women. You know, women, they do naturally play different. But I'd be quite up for taking our team to go and watch other teams, you know, at their level and see what they bring to the game so that we can just keep zoning into different areas of what we're going to bring. So,
Well, after our first couple of training sessions and then go and watch the men play, I was like, whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
intense.
that's
I
what
was
I-
like, geez.
Men
Everywhere
are
else have
naturally
got it,
faster, stronger when it comes to physique. So you're going to get that different level. They also have extreme high level of testosterone pumping through their body, where they've got to be better than everybody else on the court. So,
there's
whereas
only
women
two
don't,
levels.
yeah, unless you're an arrogant woman like I am, you don't tend to go on the court and behave that way. So, I have to dull myself down, you know. But
To some
if
extent.
I was playing a game, that's only going to double. So,
Yeah.
And I think
yeah,
Hartbury away would be a good one to go to because that is far. That's not easy to get to.
yeah,
So if you're getting committed players going to Hartbury away for a friendly, and you do that kind of early on, 3 or 4 friendlies pretty soon, that'll tell you whether or not I think you've got a team. And then you've got to worry about the finances and stuff as well. The difference is the women are being built from an established club. Yeah, so the men's team are there, we're running, we've got finances in the bank, so it's not starting from scratch. So the risk level is slightly different, but equally it needs to be sustainable, and that's what we talked about, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
how do we...
and I think
set
so.
the team
I mean,
up
I've said to the ladies essentially, we don't have funding, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, running the women's, we don't have a sponsorship, we don't have funding. You know, and the women are actually quite keen to already be paying for their fees up front and committing, and oh well, if I can't come to training, so be it, it goes into the pot. That's where their heads are at, and I want to keep going with that. But yeah, we'll see. We need funding. We definitely need funding. But as far as I'm concerned, we don't dip into the club's pocket because it's not ours to dip into. So.
Well, it's there to develop the sport.
It is.
You know,
It is.
We set things up, we invest in it, and,
Yeah.
and hopefully in time it becomes sustainable. That's the goal, isn't it? And
Yeah.
I'm interested to hear both your views about kind of coming from the football side and how you see it different. You know, futsal compared to football and that transition into playing the game.
Well, it's just much quicker, isn't it? It's just a lot.
I thought it was going to be easier.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be easier, but
20-minute
it's
halves.
definitely not easier.
Indoor,
I
five-a-side.
like it.
No, completely.
There's no such thing as a
It makes
20-minute half.
I found that out the other day. So, yeah, a lot different, a lot more technical, but a lot
Different
more.
techniques involved.
Yeah, it's enjoyable
It
there.
helps my actual playing on the pitch though,
Yeah.
as well. Got like more ball control and things.
Yeah. So all of the foot is different, isn't it? Using some of the foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
learned that.
Yeah.
And how quickly you get up to speed and then have to stop because you're going to smash into a wall
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So, yeah.
It's like there and back and there and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Shall we talk about? Or do you want to talk about the weekend coming up?
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, not only is it 300 miles sideways,
Oh, who will we play? Sussex.
playing Sussex, which
Yeah.
from
God.
as a Watford fan that's gone to Brighton away, like you think, oh, Brighton's south, oh, it's right by. No, it's miles
It's further
away.
than Brighton.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a mega
eastbourne.
trip again.
But
So.
this is what you, to be honest, you want to be involved in these sort of games at the same time. But what we're looking at is an even thinner squad.
Thin. I
Thinner.
think you could say it's pretty much non-existent.
Than LDN.
I mean, at this stage, you'd probably hoping it was unisex, and yeah, that
Well, have you
my
on,
committed women would
yeah.
be there, mate. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we don't have 3 goalkeepers this time. We're just the 2, which is going to fill up the whole bench again. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna.
yeah.
Our
Well,
captain.
rumour has it, Jamie, that you're pivot.
Oh, it's not a rumour. I can confirm here as an exclusive that I'm playing as pivot on Sunday. I mean, once we've had this, partnership with Supreme Fitness, gone to the gym once, and now
Yeah,
I'm
that's it.
strong as an ox.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah.
going to be backflipping over the players, I tell you.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. So yeah, thank you Supreme.
Yeah.
Again, no, but it's going to be hard. Again, it's going to be a learning test for us as well, for no matter who goes, because there's no way we are expected to win going to their place. Absolutely not for a second. But it's about what we can bring to them, what we can take out of it. For me, it's going to be a very gritty game for us. I've watched them from the rare footage that you can find from any of these 3.1 teams. You look at 3. Look at Berkshire or South Aztecs, any one of this. They've got footage everywhere on YouTube, and you go into 3.1. It's like you're trying to look for the Secret Service. It's like where are you guys putting anything? Like, apart from LDN, which is the irony. But they rotate well and move forward quite well. So I think there's going to be an obvious game plan, of course, to try and counter that. But we've just going to have to just stick it in there, stick in with it. There's nothing
Hang
more
on a
to
minute,
say.
say that again?
Stick it in
It's
there.
just stick it in.
Just stick
Just
it
stick
in.
it
I
in.
mean, you have summer.
It's a new tactic. If the referees like it or not, is another thing.
I think you've got to go back to basics. I think you've got to learn to hold the ball, control the ball, move, pass, communicate.
My worry is that the communication and the transitioning, because obviously we can sit back and soak up pressure, but you can only do so much of it. You can't just keep giving the ball back to them for the whole game. We've got to transition well to relieve the pressure as well. And for me, those are the things. Gonna sit and soak up the pressure. Guys, I'm just talking about the game. I don't know what you.
What's the melon there? You
Why?
can
Where's
work on
that? Where's that even come from? We just got to sit. It's still.
If we win, these are coming out. All right, so don't worry.
We're
No,
not monetized, so you can say whatever you
Oh
want.
yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I I've lost.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll say
You
one
get
thing,
battered down
right?
every time I say it.
I'll say one thing off camera, of course. Again, and you shut up. There's a lot of players coming in that haven't played or not played very much, right? And so those players have a huge opportunity to turn up, step it up, and really fight for a place for the rest of this season. We've only got a few games left. We've got a semi-final against LDN. Going away to Sussex shows commitment, which they've shown all season. They've shown all season, these players that are stepping in.
Yeah.
They've been training more often than not. And so the players that aren't turning up and not coming training, they're going to have a fight on their hands. And this is the sort of game where you go, right,
Yes.
you're coming in, now you've got your opportunity. You have to step it up. Doesn't matter what the result says or what the end result is about application, attitude, how hard you work, and kind of ultimately, if you perform well, you'll get into the next game, right?
But for me, it's even what they'll learn from it going to other games. 'Cause like you said, they're going to be very new. They might not even done an official futsal match before. It's about what you can take from it as well. That's for me. For me, it's not just about, right, you know, I'm always looking ahead of our next game. I'm even looking a year or two ahead, to be completely honest, being me and you being part of the management team. I just want us to keep developing and growing instead of like, oh, we're going to Sussex, we've got to get something, we've got to say, no, if we lose, what can we take out of it? What can these new players take out of it into the next game or into the next training session? And then we keep developing from there. For me, that's as important compared to getting a point there or something like that. For
Well, we
me.
won't roll over, and we'll give everything. If they have an off day, and our players step up a bit, you know, you never know. It's a beautiful thing about this game is you never know. We can go there knowing that we're not anywhere near what we would consider full strength. Nowhere near it, right? Let's be honest. But actually, if we go there, fight to the end, give it everything we've got, you know, we can have fun, and if we get a result, we get a result. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how we might get a few lucky goals. They might not be able to hit a barn door for the day. You don't know.
They won't know I'm playing as pivot.
They won't
They
even
won't.
pivot.
So yeah.
Yeah, two
It's,
goalkeepers might have.
Why is everyone laughing
absolutely
every time I
unreal
say
game.
that?
Yeah.
I'll show you guys. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
So you just don't know, do you? So, but it's a long trip. We're going with a delicate squad. Let's put it that way. I say delicate. That's probably the wrong word, but. You know, we're going with a squad that hasn't played much together. Inexperienced team.
Yeah, but a point to prove for a lot of them. Like
But
you
a
said.
point to prove, and you know, I love an undergod. Undergod?
An underdog? Yeah. I like it.
An undergod, yeah, that's an underdog story. I love it. So you know, let's see what happens. See what happens. I will certainly be throwing myself around and offering free advice to anybody who wants to hear it.
Even the referees.
Ava, you go. You're going to be on the sideline.
No, I'm not going. I mean, there's a bit of a track record with me. You know, if I was there, maybe they'd have a better performance. So. I'm saving all my energy for the ladies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lucky girls.
Yeah.
So that's Sussex. Good
That's-
stuff. How many subscribers are we on now? 50.
53, and I'll tell you
Oh, we
why.
moved.
I just subscribed.
Yeah, it's you. There we go.
Well, no,
yeah, you need to
Make
subscribe.
sure I do.
There was
Yeah.
another, because my girlfriend's sister subscribed as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, every single person that I communicate with now, I'm like, don't talk to me. Give me your phone.
Yeah, we training on Sunday.
Now
Well, you
we
have to leave
now
it
we
open
can
and
talk.
watch it.
Yeah.
It's all about watch time.
Yeah. Well, you
Even
just
if you don't watch it,
even if you don't watch,
leave
just press
Yeah,
play.
100%.
Anybody watching this, leave it open.
So yeah, no, we
Got
don't
it,
fake the
got
views,
What's all the
guys.
shirts about anyway?
Because I used to be a real loser. Well, more of a loser than I am
You-
now.
Yeah, I was going to say, used to be, or
I'm getting so much love with the.
you're sat on the pod with 3 girls, and I don't know what you expect really. So
Yeah, but when I used to be more of a loser, I used to collect shirts, and then yeah, I was saying to Mike last week, got a girlfriend, got a life.
and carried on collecting.
Can
Can I move in? No, Barry.
So you didn't watch last week because you know.
No, yeah, press subscribe but didn't watch. There we go.
Well, to be fair, we
Halfway
didn't have
there.
the microphone on for that bit. You had to put
Oh,
AI.
That's true.
You had the AI up to be able to hear it, didn't you?
It wasn't too bad. but
No,
yeah,
it wasn't.
It did help. So, right, should we wrap it up?
Yeah, wrap
Thanks
it
for
up.
joining
I need
us,
to give
ladies.
football.
Wrap it up.
Yeah.
Tapping your foot.
Well done.
See what you're doing.